All right, welcome to Talk-Jitsu with host Uki Mike, Joey Boretski, and me, Jordan Preisinger from Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu. Today we have a great episode for you guys, and what we're going to cover is someone on Reddit, they asked a question. They said, what's a small hack you've discovered that's improved your game significantly lately? And some of the answers are pretty interesting because there's a lot of like concepts and other types of things that are upvoted that I don't necessarily agree with. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk about and get your guys' insight on it as well. So someone is saying this had 566 upvotes, so a lot of people agreed with them. And they said, when someone is on top of you, they cannot be heavy with both their chest and their hips at the same time. For example, if they're pinning you down in side control and being heavy on the chest, you can easily recover guard because they are light on their hips. If they're heavy on their hips, you can get an underhook escape because they're light on the chest. Pretty cool stuff that I discovered thanks to the coach's teaching and have been playing with it. And yeah, there's some people disagreeing. And what do you think, Joey?
I mean, I think there's a point there. I wouldn't say you can't be heavy on both, but I think it is like, especially like, let's use side control as an example. Unless you have a super wide, long body, it's really difficult for you to have like a super tight crossface and be tight on my hips. You kind of have to pick one. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm super narrow and I can't be high and low, but like it is difficult to control up high and low at the same time, just by function of like, to have a good crossface, I need my hips positioned more up towards the armpit where I can get like, my arm around their face. Whereas to really control the hips, I kind of need my bottom knee a little lower, closer to the hips. So I think he has a point there in that, like, most of the time when someone is holding side control, they're going to be cheating one way or another. Very rarely will they have like a perfect spread from top to bottom. They're going to be kind of cheated up high or lower towards your hips. I don't necessarily like his wording of they can't be heavy on the chest and hips. I think that's incorrect. But I think the idea of the premise is mostly that however a person controls you, they're going to kind of cheat one way. And usually the opposite of that is going to be your best avenue for escape.
Yeah, see, like, I think that side control is just the nature of it, that if you have your knees on the mat, obviously you're not controlling the hips as well in a sense, because you're, dedicating your, I guess, your weight to their chest. So that's somewhat true. But like, I prefer side control where my knees are more hovering off the mats and I'm driving into them with my toes. And in that case, I'm heavy on their hips and I'm heavy on their chest. And side control is like only one example that can sort of prove their point. But like in mounts, for example, if you'd be heavy on the hips and the chest. So like that makes no sense to me. And like there's certain passes too, like tons of passes where you're heavy on the chest and the hips, like the side smash, for example. And also, yeah, it even just like a smashed half guard until you actually go to, knee slide, you should be pretty heavy on the hips and the chest. Even when you are going like posturing up for the knee slide, you still need to control the hips. Otherwise, they're going to get a knee shield, but there'll be less, I guess, weight on there. It's more like, there'd be less weight on there in a sense. Like, I don't think that's a super useful concept or something to go by because there's a lot of situations where it doesn't prove to be true. And what I think is a better concept, which I also teach my Jiu-Jitsu theory course, is that you either need to control their head or you need to control their hips or both. Like both is ideal. And there's so many situations where that's true. Like for example, an armbar, you control their head, but if you're not controlling their hips, they're going to turn into you. But you don't necessarily need to always control their hips, like by grabbing it. It's like if they start to turn towards you, you can grab their legs, which control their hips. But in that situation. But there's like a triangle too. Like you can control the head, like their posture by the triangle itself, and you can control their hips by getting an angle and underhooking their leg. And I don't know, I could go over like so many different examples, but like, I think that's a better way to visualize and conceptualize it. Like, yeah, even with passing, like you don't necessarily need to go like chest to chest on people. You can use your head to control people in place of your chest. Like even like your head through like a knee slide, you can put your head on the mat in place of a cross face. It does the same exact job. or you could use your head, like your forehead, against their neck framing to keep them pinned. It's like, it's more so about pinning people in top position than it is about specifically your chest pressure, because there's different ways to control. But when you do get to side control, like these dominant positions like side control and mounts, you do need chest pressure. But yeah, I don't see how you're giving up hip pressure with your hips in mounts. Like, what do you think, Joey, for mounts? Like, it doesn't really apply to mount.
I think there is a little bit of a weight distribution. So, like, let's say I'm on top and mount, and I'm really like driving my hips down into you. Like, you only have so much weight and pressure, and if I'm putting my weight more down towards my hips, I have to relieve at least some of my control and pressure up top. Not saying you can't control both. You definitely can. If you've ever been in someone who has a good mount, for the listeners, they definitely are controlling the upper body and lower body. But I always think of it kind of like like a teeter totter almost. Whereas like when it's flat, you have equal control on both sides. But as you push down on one end, the other end does have to relieve a little bit, unless you're really, really long and have the ability to kind of like arch your back in a different way. But especially for me being like a shorter guy, like if I have mount and I want to just drive into the head, my hips kind of have to come up a tad. I'm not saying that like it completely relieves the pressure. Obviously, I still have you controlled down there. My knees do the work of holding you side to side, but to lean forward, I do have to kind of bring the hips up. To lean back, I do have to kind of bring the chest back a little bit. So, like, I don't know if it's necessarily like a all or nothing. I think it's more of like a, as one increases, the other will slightly decrease.
So, like, Mike, if someone told you this concept, like, how could you utilize it to actually get better jiu-jitsu? Like, would this be helpful for you?
I think maybe not for someone who's like really new or advanced or rolling with like really like advanced practitioners. Like if you roll with a good black belt, this is not going to help you at all, because a good black belt's not going to overcommit one way or another and give you a glaring way out. But if you're in the like white blue belt level where people will really make mistakes, you put a blue belt in side control and you say, hold this guy, uh, give them a crossface. A lot of the times they're going to really overcommit up to the upper body and leave a lot of space down by the hips. And that does give you a chance to get out. I think this is one of those concepts that definitely works better against lower skilled opponents.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the concept honestly is going to make people worse at jiu-jitsu, because if like a lower belt is thinking, oh, I can only put pressure on one part of the body, like how's that helpful? Because I don't think that it's even true to begin with, because you can vary where you put your weight. You can definitely put on only the hips or only the head or the chest, but you can definitely put it on both. Like, yeah, I don't see how that's like a helpful concept. Like, I don't know how you can take that and be like, now my jiu-jitsu is better because I know I can only put my weight one way. You
Well,
know what I mean?
I think it's more for the guy on the bottom, knowing that like you can't put 100% of your control on the top and the bottom. You only have 100% to give.
You can put 50 on each, I think.
True. I definitely think you can. And that's where, like I said, like good guys, you'll have a really hard time because they're not going to overcommit one way or another. They're going to give you that nice 50-50. But from the bottom, especially against like lower skilled practitioners, I see it a lot where guys will go like 85% of their like pressure and control up to the head. And I'll watch white belts like trying to desperately peel off the crossface. I'm like, hey man, he's not controlling your hips from here at all. He's leaning so hard on your head, your hips can move. And I think that's kind of what they mean by the concept is when you roll with people, when they overcommit their weight high or low, the way to get out is not to fight the 100% commitment of someone's pressure. Like that's usually a losing battle. The way to get out is like, hey, if he's going to relieve pressure on my hips to put pressure on my head, I'm going to use my hips to escape.
Yeah, but I think that kind of proves the concept not true. Like in the sense of, if someone is not adequately or controlling both, yeah, then you definitely capitalize on where they're not putting their pressure. So it's like this concept is like saying like you can't put pressure equally, and you have to put it, primarily on one, and then they can easily escape. It's just like, I don't know. I just think that's like such bullshit. It's just like not true to me. I can't see how that's helpful, and I don't think it's true at all. But
whenever I've rolled with a good pressure player, like Darren will say, he evenly distributes his weight, and it's perfectly distributed. I can't get out from underneath him. The more I try to be heavier like him and distribute my weight better. Like Joey was saying, not commit to one way or the other. I got to get better at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Darren's a great example. He's really good at using his weight. Here's another one too. And I hear this from people often. They said frames are not for pushing. They're temporary barriers to square your guard back up. But that does not make any sense to me because, okay, half guard, for example, someone's trying to grab my head. I use my short frame. So I use my T-Rex arms to stop him from grabbing my head. It has nothing to do with being temporary or having to create a barrier until I can square up my guard. My guard already is like my hips already pointing towards them, unless they want me on my back, like squared like onto their chest. That makes no sense either. And what I hear people, they say frames aren't for pushing, which is not true. Like that doesn't make sense because you're not pushing like overextending, but you're pushing to create tension. Like if you just have if you're not pushing whatsoever, you're going to get your frames easily, I don't know, like nullified. Like they're going to move them out of the way and whatnot. Like you have to put active pressure. Like same thing with a knee shield. It's not like you're extending them far away with your knee shield, like too far, but you're actively driving your knee shield into them at times. Or even like, for example, if you're going for an underhook, you can push with your knee shield and then take the underhook to create more space to take that underhook. Or even using frames like for example, like a long frame in like a tripod sweep, right? Use your foot to frame. You're pushing their hips down. It has nothing to do with any of what they're saying about squaring up your hips and whatnot. Like, I don't know we'll get your take on this one, Mike, and then we'll get you, Joey.
I use frames all the time. I actively push against so I can scoot out. If I don't, they're going to just collapse on top of me. I have to actively press against them. I use it for defense all the time.
Yeah, well, a good one is like escaping side control. Like you put in your short frame, like your knee, and then you can extend your body away to get your your upper body away from them and to get your foot out easier. Like you're pushing with your frame to make that happen. Joey, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I just think this is like incorrect. I'm really not sure. I mean, I don't understand the idea that frames aren't for pushing. Like the whole point of a frame is that it's resisting your pressure. Like if I just have a limp noodle of a frame, it's just going to fall apart the moment you put pressure into it. Like if I have a knee shield and I'm not actively putting pressure with my knee shield, especially if you're trying to come in, it's just going to fold underneath you. Same thing from like you said, the TRX arms from maybe a guy's trying to grab my head from half guard. If my arm is just limp, like sitting here and he goes to grab my head, it's just going to move my arm out of the way. I mean, just having a hand in between is not a frame. The frame is the fact that there's, like you said, like an active tension in my body that stops people from coming towards me.
As long as you're not overextending, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing I'll add is I think you could change this by say you shouldn't be reaching for frames, because I see that a lot where guys, bottom half guard again, they see the arm and they reach out to try to grab the other guy's arm to block it. That's not a good frame because you're overextending, you're leaving a hole. I want my frame to be tight and wait for you to come to the frame. But once you come to the frame, it has to have a tension into you to be an effective frame.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's like, it's crazy to me that people could argue otherwise. Like, I feel like, have they even thought about it? Like, are they just like writing it stuff? And I don't know. This is another one, which I do agree with. They said, just stand up, bro. Seriously, cultivating a wrestling game plan has helped my game more than anything else has in years. People I roll with that don't wrestle just fold and accept pulling guard every time. Yeah, I think that's totally true. It's like, you can stand up way more than you realize. Like you don't need to, be in a bad position if you can just stand up. And, we talked about this before, and Derek Lewis, the heavyweight for UFC, like that, like there was always a joke, just stand up, like you don't even need jiu-jitsu. But it's like true, that's a great game plan, especially for someone that doesn't want to be on the ground in MMA. Like that is the game plan, is like get up, and you can use that in your rolling too. Like a great example is like turtle. Like you're not specifically like standing up, but you're building a base, and then you can transition back to your guard, or you could always just stand up too. Like that's what I did in that match against Caesar. I went to turtle and I stood up right away, and then I knee barred him. And if I didn't just stand up, then I wouldn't got that. So like I 100% think that's a great concept.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone said I've stopped eating before class. Seems to help me stay aggressive instead of lackadaisical. Yeah, like I can't roll if I don't have if I haven't eaten in the last like couple hours. Like, yeah, just not gonna happen. Not gonna have any energy. But like, you don't want to eat too close to jujitsu either, because you need to digest your food. So I think that's something that definitely help people. I don't know if you guys like eat close to class or what you guys do.
I like to have something with a little bit of carbs right before class if I'm not doing keto or something like that. Just something quick, like a Nutri-Grain bar or something like that, just so I have a bit of energy. Nothing heavy or anything where I'd feel like I was going to vomit during class.
Yeah, I eat my dinner at like 3:00.
Yeah,
I'm at the gym from like 4:30, 4:00 until 8:39 at night. So like, if I don't eat before that, I'm gonna have lunch at noon and then not eat again until 10 at night. And I don't like to eat super late at night. I'm not like a midnight snacker. I don't like going to bed like with a ton of food in me. So like for me, I just eat at like 3. I got a couple hours to digest before I go to class. I feel good. I come home and I have a small little like post-training snack, go to bed.
Yeah, like that's definitely the best game plan, is to have something small before class if you can, just like carbs, which are very fast digesting. But yeah, like me and you, Joey, we're kind of in that position where like we need to eat, we're going to be at the gym all night, so we need to eat before we go. And yeah, just kind of on that topic too, just to give everyone an update. Like I talked about my stomach issues in the past podcasts, and I've finally got my stool results back, and I have really bad SIBO, which is like small intestine small intestine bacterial overgrowth, which is like when bacteria goes into your small intestine, because bacteria is supposed to be in your large intestine, but when it goes to the small intestine, that's when things are bad. So that's great. Yeah, I have to deal with that, try to kill the bacteria and all this stuff. And yeah, it's actually what Gordon Ryan had too. He had SIBO and SIFO, which is fungus. So he had bacteria and a fungus. And which I hate that I had the same thing as Gordon Ryan, because I just assume people are going to think I'm on steroids, because that's what they contribute him to being to having stomach issues. But there's a ton of ways you can get SIBO, and yeah, it's pretty debilitating. It really sucks. So hopefully that gets fixed.
How long is the road to recovery on that? What did they say?
Oh, it can take a long time to heal. Yeah, because I have like methane SIBO, which is harder to treat. But basically I need to get my motility up in my small intestines. So just, yeah, we're kind of going off of topic from jiu-jitsu, but I'll give you guys a breakdown on how things work in terms of digestion. So you eat something, it goes through your esophagus into your stomach, which it breaks down the food with acid and kills bacteria and whatnot. And it gets it ready for the small intestine. And the small intestine, that's where your body absorbs nutrients. So, which is a good thing. And then it goes to the large intestines, where it starts breaking it down, turning it into poop, like taking the moisture out and whatnot. And in your small intestines, you have it's moving. So like it has like cycles where it like cleans itself. And it's an environment where bacteria can't live if your motility is adequate. So like it's bringing the food down quickly. But if it's slow, then bacteria is like, I can live in here because it's like slow moving. Let's live up here. It's great. The food's better here because it's less processed. And then there's bacteria in your small intestine that's being absorbed into your body. Like not just the bacteria, like the byproduct of it, like they're eating your food, and then the byproduct's getting absorbed into your body, which makes you feel sick and have all these stomach issues. So people, they get like a really common way to get SIBO is from food poisoning, because it slows down your motility. And then, then the bacteria goes up in there where it shouldn't be. And everyone has bacteria in their body. We have more bacteria in our body than we do human cells, but it's just not supposed to be in the small intestine. So I need to get rid of it from my small intestine. And then, as I also improve my motility. So yeah, I got to figure that out.
You've had that for a while though, eh? You've had stomach issues for a while now.
Yeah, a long time. And it just like drains all my energy, makes me feel crappy, and all sorts of issues. So yeah, that's why Gordon Ryan couldn't compete for a while, because he was dealing with that. But he took so many what's it called? Antibiotics, which are like, it just kills all the bacteria and just creates like a imbalance of like your, of the bacteria. And then combined with like slow motility, it gets up in there and it's no good. So yeah, I don't know. Like I recommend everyone, don't do things that slow down your motility, which there's a lot of things, people do, like eating like snacks all the time, snacking all the time. Your body, like your small intestines don't have a chance to clean them, like do the cleaning process, like because they're working the whole time. So eating at night's not a great idea either, because that's the time where your small intestines are cleaning the most and having those cycles of a cleaning and moving so much. So like when you hear your stomach like moving, that's like a good thing. And people with SIBO, they don't really hear that as much because their stomach isn't really moving. And again, creating a great environment for bacteria to be in. And this is another interesting fact. It's like 20% of people have IBS. 20% of people in the world have IBS, and 75% of people that have IBS, like it's SIBO, what they actually have. Like IBS is a symptom, and then it's like a symptom of different things, and 75% of that is SIBO. So a lot of people have SIBO. So people like shit on Gordon Ryan, like, you know, you did steroids, this is why you have SIBO, but like so many people have it. So 75% of 20 is 15. So like, I guess, 15% of the people in the world have SIBO. So yeah.
So intermittent fasting would be good. So your body, you had time to digest and get rid of that.
Yeah, it's good because it gives your small intestines a break, but and it kind of starves the bacteria, but they need like a long time till they die. So like, unless you like don't eat forever, like, yeah, you basically had to kill them with like antibiotics or antimicrobials. But yeah, that's my SIBO spiel. I hope I educated everyone. I'm learning a lot about how the body works while I figure out how to improve my health, because one thing that's really interesting too. In Vietnam, I got what's it called? But it's like candida on the skin. So candida is a fungus, and I had it on my skin and my armpits, and it was awful. It was like burning. It was like terrible. It's not contagious because we all have like candida on us. Like it's a very normal thing, but it's when it overgrows, that's when it's an issue. And because it was so hot and humid in Vietnam, and I was like in my rash guard for long periods of time teaching private lessons and whatnot. Yeah, I got this like candida overgrowth in my skin. So it was like, what the hell? You know, I got food poisoning in Trinidad and Tobago, then I get fungus infection in Vietnam. It's like, I just can't catch a break, I feel like.
You hurt your knee in Australia?
Yeah, and I hurt my knee in Australia. I hurt my knee in Vietnam too, but I was hoping that it was like mostly better by the time I got to Australia, but not better enough, because it's like, it feels like the bones are slipping when it happens, and it's more like an acute injury when it happens, and it just keeps happening where it just like, it feels like my bones come out of place when I step really hard on it. So it like heals within like a week or two, but like when it first happens, it's very painful and I can't like move it too well. But at least it's not like a lingering injury. It's just like, it's like an acute injury every time. It just keeps happening. So I might need surgery.
You should get that looked at for sure. Yeah, like you should definitely get that fixed.
Yeah. I probably need meniscus surgery because I'm pretty sure it's my meniscus. I'm not 100% sure, but just like, I don't think it's my ligaments because I feel pretty good stability in them. Other than when that happens, like, it sucks. But anyways, now back on topic. So this person says, honestly, intentionally rolling as lazy as possible. It started due to an injury and just started flowing with people I trusted. When I started branching out to rolling with everyone again and hitting subs without increasing my tempo / strength, I felt like I unlocked some slow motion character mode. And I agree 100%. Like I roll lazy often. One reason is because I never have energy because I have SIBO, and which is really frustrating. But I can use that time where I'm just feeling like complete garbage just to roll defensively. So that's what I did today. Like I just like roll with some lower belts and just let them work. And it was just interesting, you know, seeing their attacks and seeing what they're trying to do and where they're messing up and whatnot, like not controlling this, not controlling that so well. And I think that really improves people's jiu-jitsu, because like my defense sucked for a long time because I only focused on offense. And then when I started, you know, being like rolling lazy and whatnot and letting people work more, so and putting myself in bad positions, that's when I really got good defense. And now I feel very confident in my defense because I've rolled so many rounds lazy. So I recommend people do that.
I do that all the time. I had to because I had so many injuries. I couldn't be explosive or athletic, so I had to roll kind of lazy. And some days I'm just lazy. And that made my defense very, very good because I'd get myself in shitty positions all the time. And yeah, that helped me immensely.
Yeah, it teaches you how to relax too. Like I was teaching triangle defense last night, and I made it a really important point that like you should be comfortable in a triangle, because if you start freaking out, that's when you start making mistakes and they start capitalizing on them. But if you know what to do to defend and you just stay comfortable, like you can like stack them, not overstack, because I hate overstacking, but stack them so they can't lock it up better and finish. Yeah, you can just hang out there for a long time and just feel comfortable. And when they go to transition or they go to adjust their triangle, you can just pull your arm out pretty easy. So it's like, if someone puts me in a triangle now, I feel very relaxed, where like back in the day, even like when I was like a brown belt, I was not relaxed. I'd be like, oh shit, I got to like explode out of here. Cause like I do not, I don't feel comfortable in here.
Another good example of that is heel hooks. When I started being heel hooked, I would freak out. Somebody touched my foot, I would tap almost immediately. They didn't even have anything on me. But now I'm more comfortable and relaxed, and I can chill a bit, and then I can work my way out of it. But before, I'd just freak out.
It's amazing how many submissions, especially, you can get out of if you just stay calm. Like, just stay relaxed, slowly figure your way out. Very few submissions are like, instant danger. You usually have a little bit of time, like especially if you're doing good defensive jiu-jitsu, you've got the right things, you're getting triangled, you're making sure you have your posture, you're doing the right stuff. Like, you have time. Stay calm. When you start panicking, that's when you make really dumb mistakes. I agree. Like, rolling lazy definitely has its values, but I do think there is value in having a mix. So like I try and roll like pretty relaxed and calm most of the time, and then I like to have like 25% of my training be rolling, with an intensity, not necessarily like aggressively, but like with energy, with intention. You got to know your audience too. Like I have a couple members who like, they like to roll hard. We got one guy who runs our wrestling class who like, he's always a hard round. It's nothing but 100%, but those kind of rounds are good to build up the extra skills of like, how do you scramble? I think when it comes to like rolling lazy and relaxed, the biggest issue is it doesn't really develop like strong scrambling skills necessarily. So like it is important to supplement. Like if you just roll lazy 100% of the time, there are definitely going to be areas of your game that get underdeveloped. So like finding that right balance where, you can do both.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You definitely can't rely on only one and either one. But I think when it comes to scrambling, I think that it does help to roll lazy too, because then you can put yourself in positions that are like bad, but like, and you can still like transition somewhat quickly, but like making sure that you're keeping everything tight so they can't get grips. Like my opinion of, what I think a scramble is, it's a position where, or I guess a moment where neither person has dominant grips on the other person to control them. And then they're both looking for grips that control each other. So where it creates this like scramble until someone gets those grips. And if you just get comfortable denying these grips and just staying tight and just relaxed, it can really improve your scramble ability too. But if you only were to do that, then your scrambles would definitely be lacking. Like you need that speed too. So like both is like very helpful for sure. So let's see, this is an interesting one. They said, when you've mounted your opponent, if you lift up on their head, they can't bridge. What do you think, Joey?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, to bridge, I need to be able to put my weight on my shoulders. And if my chin is being jammed forward to my chest, it's really hard for me to put my weight on my shoulders. It's going to feel like shit and probably neck crank me. I mean, it's difficult. I don't know if I would necessarily say like just lift the head, but like if you can get it like my weight so that I can't actually put weight on my shoulders, then yeah, I can't bridge.
Yeah, which is control the head, right? Like I feel like they are somewhat right, but they miss the mark. It's not so much lifting up on the head. It's controlling the head, not letting it turn. And you can do that using a deep cross face where you have your bicep on their face, or you can use your forearm where it's more of a shallow cross face, and they both work great. Like if you can't get a deep cross face and they're like, just say they're really turned on their side, right? You can't get a deep cross face because you don't have the angle, but you can put it in a shallow cross face and start like walking your hand or moving your hand more like away from the direction that they're trying to turn. And then it's puts them on their back. So like 100%, you need to control the head so they can't bridge and they can't escape. But like lifting up on the head, I don't know why they'd say that specifically. It's like, no, control the head so it can't turn.
I have done that technique where it's almost like a Muay Thai plum, where I would do that when I was in mount, when brown belt beast there, Alex would let me start in mount, and it would, stop him from being able to buck me off of him at first. But I mean, good people are going to find their way out of that. Just grab them if you just grab their head.
Yeah, exactly. So this person says you must have all inside positioning. So like, I'll tackle this one first. So like, yeah, you definitely, that's the goal, is to take inside position and take it with every limb possible. But not every moment in jiu-jitsu do you want inside position with every limb. So for example, like if you're sweeping someone, you can go to the outside, take outside position to block their post. But if you went inside, you wouldn't be able to block their post. Like just say you have an underhook with one arm, if you take from the bottom, if you take another underhook, well, how are you going to block their post, right? That other arm should go to outside position. And same with a lot of takedowns like trips and whatnot, or even like when you're passing the guard, like you don't want both legs on the inside. Like if you're inside close guard, for example, both your legs are on the inside. So you want one leg on the outside because you're passing to the outside to take inside position, but like you're still passing to the outside in many cases, not all. So like as a blanket statement, I think that it's not quite true. It's kind of misleading, but like definitely the goal is to take more and more inside position, like for jiu-jitsu, like until you have so much inside position that they can't do anything to get out. So yeah, but it's not like, there's like, you got to know when to take it and when to take outside position.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's definitely like to say always all inside all the time is definitely an oversimplification. I like to tell my students, like, inside position is usually the correct thing to have, but there are times when outside position can be more valuable. Like you said, like blocking a post, I rolled with someone the other day and they're in my close guard. I don't play a lot of close guard, so I open it and they go for an underhook to hold me down because it's inside position. And well, now your arm is trapped. You have no base. You're getting swept. The inside position in that case was not good. You didn't need it. You had to deal with some other problems before you went for that inside position. You tried to skip some steps and it doesn't work. Inside position is a fantastic concept, but you have to understand how it's meant to be used and when it's meant to be used. Like anything, any tool, if you use it at the wrong time, it's going to get you in trouble. Or if you don't understand how it's meant to be used, you can get into trouble against people who are smart and understand, how can I get away with giving up some inside position, maybe to bait what I really want. And like a good example is like in standing, an underhook is good. An underhook is inside position. But most of the large, like high volume, high amplitude takedowns in wrestling come from overhooks.
But I'd argue, well, an overhook is inside position as well, right?
Yeah, but the underhook is inside position. So if you just mindlessly go for your inside position and don't understand that you can be countered by the overhook, like you have to be aware when you go for these things that there are counters. It's inside position is fantastic, but it's not as simple as I like to think some people try to make it be, where it's like, I got an inside position, I win the match. Like, no, there's more that has to be done. You have to be intelligent with it. And that's something I think like your theory course really does, is you emphasize the inside position, but how to use it. Like, what is it doing? Is it just, do I just have an underhook for the sake of having an underhook? Or is it purposeful? Is it solving a problem?
Exactly. And that's a perfect example to lead us into the next statement. Someone said, the power of the underhook. After protecting your neck, you should always be fighting for an underhook. Shrimping is key for guard retention, using straight skeletal frames rather than bent limbs. perfect position leads. Oh, sorry, this is the other things they were saying. But yeah, the one statement they're saying, the power of the underhook. After protecting your head, neck, you should always be fighting for an underhook. That's not necessarily true. Like, definitely underhooks are great, and in most cases, they're a good idea more often than not. But like, I give people underhooks all the time because I want the overhook, and they just like, oh, an underhook, and like, I'm like, yeah, oh, an overhook, thank you. So like from half guard, for example, yeah, like I'll let people underhook all the time because I want the overhook. As long as I don't let them grab my head, that overhook's gonna be powerful. So like, if someone thinks blanket statement, always take underhooks, yeah, they're gonna screw themselves, because not only the overhook, but as a grip itself, but there's also submissions you can do, or even like, yeah, there's so many examples of why someone wouldn't want to underhook, that this would be a misleading statement.
Well, I've been guillotined by you many times by taking an overhook or an underhook that you've left open for me to take, baiting me. Yeah.
That's a great example.
Yeah. I mean, the classic one to me is like the dart stroke from half guard. If you have not a fantastic underhook, or you're loose and a person's savvy on top, like, you will get Darce choked. I used to get Darce choked all the time because I always thought it had to be underhook all the time. And I would just reach for whatever underhook I could get, even if it wasn't in a good position to get a deep, tight underhook. And I just get Darce choked. And I couldn't figure out why I was getting Darce choked. And I used to think that this move was just like the ultimate technique. I was like, there is no move better than a Darce choke, because I can't figure out why I can't defend it. And eventually I kind of realized, like, I was just taking bad underhooks at the wrong time in the wrong spot, and it was causing me to get Darce choked.
Yeah, exactly. So like, man, it's just so interesting reading these.
There's a lot of nuance in between,
Yeah, because that's the thing. Sometimes people criticize like concepts of like, they're not true 100% of the time, but some concepts are true 100% of the time, and the ones that aren't great concepts. So like, yeah, the good ones are true all the time. The bad ones, because they're not real concepts, they're just bullshit. Yeah. So let's see the next one. T-Rex arms and denying the underhook. So this person probably watches my channel, because I feel like I popularized that like term of T-Rex arms. Like, I didn't create it, but like, I think at least I popularized it. But yeah, like, see, that's the same thing. They're saying denying the underhook, and it's like, yeah, a lot of times that's a good idea, like many cases, but you don't always need to deny it if you're going to use it against them. It's more about, you need to know when it's a good idea to give someone an underhook, and when it's a good time to prevent it. Like, if you're knee sliding, yeah, don't let them get the underhook. Like, deny the underhook at all costs. But like, if you're in your guard, or like standing, even, you want to use your overhook against somebody, yeah, let them get an underhook. Like, don't deny them if you could use it against them.
Yeah, I think for this one, denying the other person's underhook is very rarely the wrong thing to do, but it can often not be the optimal thing to do. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, but I'll try and explain it a little better. So like, if I'm not letting you have underhooks, that's very rarely going to be like an outright mistake to not give you the underhook. I'll be fine by not giving up the underhook. But sometimes giving up the underhook can give you more benefit. So it can be a better strategy. But it's one of those things I like to tell people, like, not giving up if you don't know what to do from a position, make sure the other person doesn't have an underhook. Like, if you're on the bottom anywhere and you're really like, I do not know what I should be doing right now, don't let him have an underhook. But as you get better and, more tactically sound, and maybe you've got more submissions in your arsenal, more counters, now you can start to stray away from that ideology of like, just don't ever give up underhooks, and maybe like, I'm going to strategically give one up now to go for more reward, as opposed to just negating everything.
I think that's a great point. Yeah. I think like, as you're, more of a beginner in jiu-jitsu, definitely just like deny underhooks. Like, you can use that as like as something to live by, really, for a while, until you start figuring out, oh, this actually might be a great time to give someone one, because like, it can be hard to take an underhook against someone that's relatively good. But so like, it can be just wiser and path of least resistance just to let them have one, so you can take an overhook, because that's an easy grip to get, because they're coming right into it. So instead of fighting for an underhook, you let them have it, you take your overhook. So yeah, I think it's definitely like nuanced. But again, it's because this isn't really a concept. because there's truth and to it, but there's also like, I don't know, false. I don't know what the word would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So anyways, let me see. This is a good one. My favorite tip is always get your weight off the ground. It has to go somewhere, preferably onto your opponent. So that's true a lot of times. In most cases, 100%. Like, where people go wrong so much is putting their knees on the mat. And if your knees are on the mat, it means that your weight is on the mat rather than all your weight on your opponent. So like, just like last night was a great example. I was teaching how to stack in the triangle. You want to be on your toes driving into them. If you're on your knees for the stack, then your weight is on your knees, not your opponent. But then the same time, like for posturing up, you need your knees close to your opponent. You need them on the mat, because if you were to have your knees far away, you can't actually posture because you don't have your legs underneath you to support your weight. So like that's a case you would want to be on your knees. So there's times where you do want to be on your knees and there's times where you don't. I would say the majority of the time you don't want to be on your knees because you want your weight on your opponent. In many positions, it looks like you're on your knees, but you're actually hovering on your feet. Like you're hovering off your knees and you're on your feet on your toes driving into them. So that's another one where it's like, yeah, not 100% of the time.
Yeah, this is definitely another one that's like 90% true, but 10% of the time, if you live your life and grappling motto by this, like 10% of the time, you're gonna have a really hard time. Like for me, what instantly came to mind is like if I'm on top in like, let's say some sort of open guard and my partner's trying to sweep me, I don't want to be necessarily like leaning all of my weight onto my partner. Like if they're going for like a butterfly sweep and they have butterflies and I'm leaning hard into their butterflies, I'm going for a ride. Probably I want to be like basing down into the ground as low as I can get so they can't elevate me. So there are definitely times where like I want to be as on the ground as I can possibly be.
Yeah, it's basically you want to be all the way forward or all the way back. So like all the way back, your heels are on your butt and you have good base that way, right? And then when you're going all the way forward, then your weight is more like on your opponent. So like they're kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like two different things. You're either like all the way engaged or you're like more disengaged for your weight. Like, yeah, like close guard would be an example. Like you can go all the way forward and do more of like Sao Paulo style passes and whatnot, or you can be all the way back with your heels on your butt. But like it's that in between, that's where you get that's where you get swept and whatnot. So yeah, there's like it's not 100% accurate all the time. So not really a great concept so much. I mean, it is, but like it's just nuanced. Where again, I think concepts should be like 100% of the time for the most part,
set in stone.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are many that are true 100% of the time. Like you don't want your opponent's feet on you or the mat, because if they're on you, that means they're gripping, and if they're on the mat, it means they can stand up. Like there's not really any times where that's not true, and there's like multiple scenarios like that. Or also like you always want to pin your opponents back to the mat, like when you're on top, at least. Like when would you not want to pin their back to the mat? If you can't pin their back, then well, actually no, maybe I shouldn't say that, because there's certain submissions where like it helps when they're on their side. So yeah, maybe that's, yeah.
I like the feet on the mat. We played a game in our gym the other day where one partner starts down in an open guard, and the top partner's game, they're not allowed to drop to their knees. So you have to stay standing, but your only job is to make sure the bottom partner can't stand up. And the bottom partner's job is just to stand up, just find a way up. And we played a couple variations. And when we played a variation but you're not allowed to grab their ankles, that game gets almost impossible to stop someone from standing. If you can keep someone's feet off the mat, man, they can't stand. They can't build base. But as soon as I let your feet touch the mat, you're going to be able to build base.
Exactly. And like that's an important skill for both people. The person that is on the bottom, they're going to understand that they can just stand up, and the person on the top realizes it's important to keep them down. I mean, if they get back up, you're going to have to take them down and waste all this energy. Like keep them down. And and same thing, not even just standing up for the person on the bottom, but like wrestling up too, which is standing, but like more of like using offense at the same time. So yeah, these things are very important, and yeah, people don't do them like these kind of drills enough as they should. But let me see the next one. When people are framing to keep you out of side control, switch your hips side to side and they'll collapse. Yeah, it's angles beat frames. I think that's the better concept, than like a specific situation where, because that's a better concept. And that's true 100% of the time. Angles do beat frames, so.
That's drilled in my head from you constantly saying it. And it helps me every night. Whenever they have a hard frame on me, I could just keep thinking angles will beat it. And it does every time. It never fails.
Yeah. And you can either move yourself in relation to the frame, or you can move the frame in relation to you.
Yeah.
Those two things are true 100% of the time. Like, again, that's what a good concept is. Like, there's no nuance there.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of a frame is it's designed to block my momentum, my progress forward. Just driving into it is not going to help. You have to go around it. And the way you go around it is by making an angle.
Yeah, exactly. And like, yeah, again, the frames, they do push. I don't know what people are talking about, but like, yeah, it's because someone argued with me. Like I argued with someone a couple months ago about it. And like, I'm just like blown away. Like, how could they think you don't push at all with a frame? Like, what are you doing? Just like going limp? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see any more interesting ones. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Okay. No, yeah, that's it. I don't know. Do we have anything else to talk about? It's been 46 minutes. We can go 14 more minutes. Be good.
Oh, I taught a seminar at a camp last weekend. First time I've ever done that. So it was kind of fun. I had a really good time.
What'd you teach?
So there were 4 instructors. Like we each had like an hour and a half or something, like 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon style thing. So I did the absolutely dumb thing of saying, I'll let all the other guys pick what they want to teach first. And then I'll just like teach something to kind of fill in the gaps of what's left over. And of course, the other 3 instructors all picked all the fun stuff. So I taught in the no-gi, I taught like a back control, back attack style class, which is fun. And the gi I taught mount, like top control and mount. So it was like side control, mounting, some finishes from there. And just like a little like sequence I liked, really emphasizing like, why I do what I do. Like not necessarily like, hey, repeat the motions I'm repeating, but like, this is what I do when I'm in this position and this is why. So if you have other ways of like accomplishing that same goal, all the power to you. Yeah, it was fun. It went really well. I think I did well. I'm a little biased, but I think I did a great job. Yeah, it was interesting. I definitely have more appreciation for people who teach seminars all the time now, having done it, because it is difficult going to another gym. Like I'll try and say, I don't know if people who don't teach will understand this, but like I know my room, and I know like Jordan, your room too. Like when I'm teaching and you do the same thing, like every now and then I'll throw in a joke, I'll make a comment, and you kind of know the people you teach, and like I know what jokes are going to hit in my room and what ones aren't. But when you're at like a seminar and it's a room full of people you don't know, it's sometimes hard to make comments like that because you're like, I don't know if this is going to go over well. Like, I'll try and think of an example. Like last night at my gym, I'm teaching a flower sweep. So like, close guard, reach underneath the leg. And I went to reach underneath my partner's leg, and I guess he was wearing some loose shorts. And when I went to scoop the underhook, my arm just went straight up his shorts. Like I didn't get an underhook on the leg. I just went right up the guy's shorts. You kind of make a joke. You're like, get an underhook on the leg. Don't reach up his pants like I just did. Let's actually scoop the leg. But if you say that at a seminar, some people might not find that funny. They might get a little weird about it. But yeah, so it's kind of just a unique experience, but I really enjoyed it and I would love to do more.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst feeling when you make a joke and it doesn't land in front of the whole class. It's like, shit, God damn it. It's always like, if you think about it first, like, should I say it? Should I not? And then the delivery gets all messed up. Yeah, I've been there for sure. And especially for me, as like, not very emotive, right? So like people can't always tell when I'm joking or not. So like I make a joke and they think I'm serious. I'm like, oh shit, but whatever. It happens all the time. But yeah, like when it comes to seminars, like one thing that's difficult is like balancing, like what you think is going to be best for the students, but also something that's going to be interesting and exciting for them, and not boring, right? So like, you don't want to just show like super flashy moves that aren't going to be helpful, but then like teaching like fundamentals can be perceived as like boring, where it's like, oh, I already know this, but like, it's like, no, like, do you know this? Do you know the details that are going to make or break this technique? So like, yeah, that's one thing that I always find difficult, because I want to like make it exciting and impress them, but also like, give them value where they come out of that seminar better at jiu-jitsu. So like, yeah, I try to just teach like mostly things that are like common, like positions and techniques that are commonly like the details aren't perfected, that are very there's a lot of nuance to them. So that's one reason I like teaching choke mechanics. But then I always throw in like some cool stuff too, like at least some cool things like rolling back attacks, or like a rolling front headlock, whatever it is, just so they can learn some cool stuff too. But yeah, it's one thing that's tough to balance.
Yeah, that was kind of my approach, was like, I'm going to show like relatively basic jujitsu, but with purpose. Like everything I showed was like, hey, this is why I like when I take the back, I like to trap the top arm, because now I have two hands to fight against one. And it was like, all right, here's a couple finishes from there. Like I assume most of you guys know how to do a rear naked choke. I trap, this is how I set it up. And then it's like the next move is just, okay, once I've got this trap, what's the guy gonna do? Like, I've trapped his arm. He's only got so many options he's going to do. He's probably going to try and get out of here. He's going to try and put his shoulders to the mat. Well, here's my counter to what most people will do from this position, just so when you get here, you're ready. Like, if you're prepared for someone's counter, you're going to be much more effective from a position. And then at the end, it's like, all right, and here's like just a cool move that you can do from here. Maybe it's not the most practical you're going to put in your game, but like just something to show people like, hey, I do actually have some cool stuff I can do. It's not just like smothering a dude from mount.
Exactly. Actually, when I was looking for topics for what we're gonna discuss today on Reddit, someone posted that they went to a Yuri Samos seminar. He's like a high level competitor, Brazilian dude, and they said that a guy asked to roll with him, and he was like, "Let me teach you some respect." Like he didn't like that he asked him to roll. I don't know if he felt like it was a challenge, or like if he's more like old school, or that's not quite the good etiquette to ask a black belt to roll, which is stupid. And and then Yuri just like proceeded to just like beat the crap out of him, and use all this like dirty jiu-jitsu, and just like make him regret asking him, and just giving him so much like pain and whatnot. And then people are like, oh, that's awful, which I agree with. It is awful. But then at the same time, I have people argue with me that like dirty jiu-jitsu is fine, which we talked about, last podcast. But it's like, I know they're different people, but that are writing and whatnot, but it's like, which is it? Because I have people argue with me, oh, dirty jiu-jitsu is fine. But then there's people like, oh, Yuri's a dick for doing that. You shouldn't be using like dirty jiu-jitsu on the guy just for asking him to roll. But so like, yeah, I think that just proves my point, which I keep trying to emphasize to the jiu-jitsu community. It's that we don't need to, use dirty jiu-jitsu and go hard on people and just like make their life suffer. We can, use clean jiu-jitsu and beat people up gently. That's the goal. That's like the ultimate flex. Like I just beat the crap out of you, and I didn't make you feel any pain or discomfort, but then, yeah, he did. And not a cool thing to do. Like, yeah, what do you think? What do you guys think about that?
I think dirty jiu-jitsu is fine if you're doing it with like somebody you really know well, or a really good training partner. Like what I would call dirty jiu-jitsu is being smothered, hand over the mouth. But then I laugh about it afterwards. But if it's some guy that I don't know and he's challenging me from another gym and he's just grinding elbows into my head and trying to smother me, I say that's being a dick. It's there's a time and place.
Yeah, but even then, like, just I think I'll use some dirty jiu-jitsu on you, Mike, for sure.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
I'll cover your mouth, whatnot, right? But like that's more like dirty techniques, right? But as opposed to like, going like just making the whole roll you suffer and whatnot, right? Because you're not really suffering so much if I'm like going knee on neck, or like, which like I'm not gonna like grind, completely go hard on it, or if I'm going like smother or this and that, right? But like it goes beyond just like dirty moves and just like a dirty rolling style where you're just like, yeah, just like grinding the shit out of them and just making them all your weight, and just they're like, fuck, I can't take this, right? So there's a distinction even there of like dirty techniques that are kind of more prison rule techniques you can do on your friends, and like actual dirty jiu-jitsu where the whole thing is just like make that person suffer.
Yeah, I think there is kind of a time and place for like making people suffer. Like I know like when we run our competition classes and someone gets top, like maybe we're doing a competition class and someone gets side control. I'm like, hey man, you got to make that guy like not have a good time underneath you. Like if you're competing and the guy on the bottom is not like, if he's having a good time and he's not uncomfortable at all, like you got to change something from the top. Like that guy's got to not enjoy his time underneath you because he's got to not want to be there. But like for the most part, when you're training, like you said, like the prison rules moves and stuff, they're all pretty painless. Like I like smothering people. I think it's fun, but I only do it with like my students. Like at this seminar when we did the rolling, I just tried to buggy choke everybody because I thought it was funny and no one's going to get hurt. Hey, you guys passed my guard. I'll let these people go back to their gym and be like, yeah, I passed that black belt's guard. Got buggy choked 3 times, but I passed his guard 3 times. I'm like, yeah, that's fun to me. No one got hurt. I'm not going to these things being like, I have to hurt people. Like the last thing I want when I roll with people, especially from another gym, even from my own gym though, is to leave with the impression that they don't want to roll with me again because it's not worth it. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. I want people to leave going like, wow, maybe he beat me, but that was a fun roll and I would love to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. That's always the ideal. Like, yeah, because again, it's the ultimate flex of like, you didn't need to use dirty jiu-jitsu to, beat them up. And it feels like effortless, for you, to them. Like that's how it should be. And, to the dirty jiu-jitsu, the prison rules stuff, like it can be annoying for me sometimes. Like I hit a wrist lock on someone at another gym the other day. And like, they were like, they're kind of like smiling at me like, oh, a wrist lock. I'm like, yeah, prison rules, ha ha ha. But like in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, it's a wrist lock, just like any other submissions. It's fine. Like it doesn't need the connotation of like prison rules. Like why would you ignore 5% of the body? Right? There's no reason to ignore it. It's just a toe hold of the of the wrist. Instead of a toe hold, you go to the wrist. There's nothing wrong with it. And so it's just like I shouldn't even have to joke about it. It's like, no, yeah, it's fine. We don't need to discuss this. It's a wrist lock. And it's really interesting because I like equating like certain techniques for others or positions because I find it interesting. Like the wrist lock being the same thing as a toe hold. Well, the truck is the exact same thing as the Kimura, because the truck you're using your 2 legs on their one leg, right? And it controls them only with your legs on their one leg. And same with the Kimura. It's your 2 arms on their one arm. And it's even looped. They're even like looped through the exact same way. And then also what's important. So in a Kimura, it's elbow position that's important. Whoever has the dominant elbow position has the Kimura. Like you can switch who has the Kimura by switching the elbow position. It's the exact same thing with the truck. You switch who has the knee position. You switch who has the truck. So like, I thought that was super cool.
That's one of my favorite things to do when people try to Kimura me is just like adjust my elbow position and then Kimura them back. And they're always like, what the hell happened? You're like, hey man, the counter to your Kimura is for me to Kimura you. You have to maintain that position. Same thing with the truck. People try and get a truck and like rolling back attack, and you just kind of change the little angle again, get your knee in the different position. It's like, well, now I'm rolling back attacking you.
Man, I love when people try to rolling back attack me because I'm so confident in my ability to rebolo, like switch the knee position. It's like, thank you. I just love that. And the Kimura is definitely a little riskier, but it definitely feels good when you switch who has the Kimura, where it's like I probably wouldn't give someone a Kimura unless I was like messing around, but I might give them the opportunity to try to take my back because I'm going to be gunning to switch the knee position. So yeah, there's like so many like positions like that where they can be equated differently. Like someone's on Reddit said the crucifix was similar to the Kimura, where it's like you're using your legs to control their arm instead of your arms. But I disagree that, because I don't think that's actually the same at all. Because the thing is with the crucifix, you control their arm with your legs, but you also need to control their other arm with your arms. Where it's like the Kimura grip, you can control someone's body, like them, using only the Kimura grip without using the rest of your body. And it's the same thing with the truck. You can control them using only your legs where it's like you don't need other things so much. So like, yeah, I think it's a little bit different. Like these things are like identical. So like, yeah, I don't know. It's like the kind of stuff I don't know. I spend way too much time thinking about things that don't really matter that much. But yeah, that's it. It's been an hour. Hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. And if anyone is listening that has any knowledge on SIBO and, stomach issues, I'd love to talk to you because I'm trying to learn as much as possible so I can get healthy. And because that's priority right now, is just get healthy. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking around till the end of the podcast. If you're still here, please leave a comment or a fist bump, and we'll see you guys next time.